Hello and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us tonight for the Cookout podcast, where we talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling.
What's up,
I
y'all?
hit unmute and it didn't unmute.
It didn't unmute. I was looking at the thing like that thing's going to end in about 3 seconds, and Sammy's not even in the screen. I was like, better go back quick.
Did you have ribs?
Say what?
Did you have ribs?
This is a turkey thigh. Not turkey thigh, chicken thigh. This is a chicken thigh.
Oh, okay. Because I just saw like you wiping your hands and your mouth, and I was like, so you have ribs because you
Sammy's
don't
got
have
ribs.
All right. So-
It's juicy.
Too easy.
Too easy.
Easy.
Love them juicy thighs.
Give Anika another minute or two before we crack into our topics for
You
today.
gotta make it at least 5 minutes before you start with your starting, Sammy.
That's fair.
5 minutes. That's all I ask.
That is fair. If you are here with us, we appreciate you coming over for the cookout. As you know, we're live here right now, 7:30 p.m. every Tuesday, Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We're also live on Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, starting with SmackDown with Sammy Joe and Danica, and then myself. Oh, and Dolores. I apologize, and Dolores. And then myself and CM come in sometime around 7 for Rampage, 7 p.m.
10 p.m. Eastern for the people on the right side.
10 p.m. Eastern for the
10 p.m.
people on the wrong coast.
The better coast.
Check out All for Naught, which drops on Tuesdays. It's now going to include Dolores as well, where we review Monday Night Raw and NXT. And then check out UTR Under the Radar on Saturdays. Myself and CM talking about Impact, Ring of Honor, BTE, MLW, and also Seeing Stars, our new show where we cover NJPW, GCW, and Stardom when it's on. So hit the bell to be notified. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Hit the bell to be notified so you'll know when all that stuff comes out. And we have our fifth workhorse here with us. So, which we'll go ahead. We'll let CM tell us what her topic is for the week. It was her idea. So
I just want to say that we are obviously the best coast because the Appalachian Mountains are also in Europe. So when y'all have that, then come talk to us, okay? Anywho, the world of wrestling is, for lack of better terms, really fucking crazy right about now. There's been a lot of talk of, is this storyline good? Is this bad? Is this even a storyline? And oh my God, if I see Punk Ass Phil one more time.
So does that mean you're not going to be watching Collision?
I'm going to watch it. I'm also going to be booing it. I just don't understand why his face is in so many wrestling groups talking about, you needed me. If anybody needed you, we'd actually give a fuck about you as a person. Nobody cares about you as a person, Phil. Nobody. Not even your wife. Anyway, we're gonna talk about were these storylines actually good? Because ALW is very literal, and because Dolores is great with graphics and all that is there, we have a few topics. I get to pick because ALW put me in charge of this. He didn't go out with about shit. So we're going to talk about were certain things actually good or not. Let's start off with an easy one. The Nexus. More specifically, when John Cena fucked it all up.
It started good.
I don't even think it started good.
Well, except for the Bryan Danielson thing. Although one could say if it was not for that and Justin Roberts, we might not have the Bryan Danielson we have now. And Justin Roberts doesn't look scared around him anymore. So
Yes, he does.
he's not okay. So he knows Mox is there, so he knows that he's not going to be killed as bad because Renee's friends with him. So there's that. But Nexus, it started off really good. Overall, though, Like, even if you were to take out the Cena stuff, and let's say Nexus was to have won when Cena beat them, do you think the Nexus was good, like as a storyline, or could it have been good if you reverse the Cena decision?
If you reverse the Cena decision, it would have been great.
I don't know.
It would have been great.
Much like a lot of things in WWE, the idea is there, but the execution is poor.
Dolores, you muted.
I feel the same way. Like, it was a better version of what's the group with Mia Yim in it? I try to forget.
Retribution.
Yeah, it was a step higher than that. But it should have never happened. If you had to just let it be in the beginning, like kind of like this outsiders thing, I think that's what messes it up. You try to always do the outsiders or the people who don't feel like they're treated fair against everybody else, and it seems like that doesn't work out. We're seeing it now with AEW. That doesn't work
out. Okay. Given that,
I mean, to be fair, like the outcasts in AEW, like if you look at it on paper, it should be like a super solid thing. Like it's got Tony Storm, it's got Ruby Soho, like
these are prime
who does not have a personality.
But like these are prime examples that wins and losses matter. Like you said, if they would have beat John Cena in SummerSlam, this would be a totally different conversation. Wade Barrett probably be higher up than he got to. And then like it's crazy that Bray Wyatt was in that group, but like even the dude from Cape Town, South Africa, like they had some pretty decent people there, but you can't let people keep getting beat and think, oh, but the character. No, win and losses matter. If you book them as losers, they're losers. Period.
Okay.
It had Heath before he had kids.
Well, yeah. Well, to be fair, it gave you Fred Rosser, Darren Young, Titus,
David
Otunga, Michael Tarver, who ups and downs, Husky Harris, who turned into Bray Wyatt, Heath, Stu Barrett, aka Wade Barrett. It gave you Brian Danielson, Justin Gabriel,
Michael McGillicuddy.
We don't talk about those days. But real question for y'all. I know y'all did not. Okay, this was going to be my question. Who did the Nexus more damage and like completely killed it? CM Punk or John Cena?
Who did it damage?
Like, who did the most damage? Who killed it?
Who hurt Nexus more?
Cena.
I think John Cena did.
Cena.
Cena did too.
Like
Go ahead.
Like at least with CM Punk, you had that nice moment at Royal Rumble where they try to do the thing with what you call it, Brock Lesnar in 2020, but for some reason when John Cena came, he's super. Or case in point, he's Super Cena. I'm gonna outbeat 12 people and I'm gonna throw half off the rope. I'm like, what? When? In what world? In what world is that logic? That makes sense. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay. I would argue that CM Punk did more damage.
Say more words.
Here's why I feel like that. Cena was Super Cena. We all kind of knew he was going to win. It was interesting. What I would have loved was to see like the malicious compliance of him telling them what to do and them doing it, but doing it in such a way that it makes him look like a bigger fool. Like, go out there and win this match. Okay, they go out there and they win the match, but because they're heels, they also like break somebody's leg or something. They tear up the ringside. They make it work. So the Cena stuff had more potential. To me, when CM Punk became the leader, his like personality never really meshed with them, and he was like they were split in half and beefing, and like to be quite fair, like CM Punk gives off he would run a cult, but he was never believable, and they never really did like overthrow him fully like I wanted them to. I feel like he was such a weak leader. They could have done it and made it better, but they didn't.
Only one person benefited through the whole storyline, and that is Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm. That's facts. I think we all agree with that. When was CM Punk the dirty Jesus on SmackDown? He had the hair and he had the beard and the people were shaving their head. When was that? Was that before, next, or after?
That was before.
So I had to say this: if that version of CM Punk was the ruler of Nexus, I think that would have been a better mesh. Yeah, I said, he like a dirty Jesus. That's exactly what his character was, being all creepy and saying happy birthday to Aaliyah.
He was the correct version of what Bray Wyatt should have been. He is the correct version. He was the cult leader who did had people do weird stuff.
I mean, to be fair, I like cult leader Bray Wyatt.
Yes, let's not the conversation. I think that again, that would have worked. But what happened? Cena just had to win. Okay, I'm trying to sidetrack. Has Cena ever put over anybody?
Yeah,
Theory.
Dwayne.
Brock Lesnar.
Over in the Attitude Era. Anybody.
I love how
he might let them win, but he roasts he sets their ass on fire in a promo, then lets them win. That doesn't help. Like, you let Austin Theory win after you roasted the shit out of him and made him look like he had no balls. I don't understand it. How is that helping that man? How is it helping?
This is the dumbest line in the history of WWE. You win, I beat you, you lose. You beat me, you still lose. What?
I had to lose brain cells, but I understood it.
Like, hold on, let's be real. Austin Theory had a competitive match with John Cena. This is a John Cena who has not been wrestling consecutively, like consistently, for years. And you went more than 2 minutes with John Cena. This man looks like he's one good storm breeze away from breaking like the fragile old man he is.
Listen, I can't even use that you ain't did it in a long time. Because if Stone Cold can do it, or Ric Flair can have his last match and bleed and go everywhere, anybody can do it.
I mean, at least give me one AA.
There's a difference.
One AA in a match.
You're missing the key difference, right? The key difference here is Stone Cold and Ric Flair still have talent. John Cena never did. So that's the big thing. Like, even the little bit of like Ric Flair is on this much of a life, this much of a life. God, I hope he lives long enough to do what he needs to. But look how close he is, right? Wrestling wise. You see how close that is? And he still got this much more like wrestling ability than John Cena.
I just appreciate how he blacked out in the match and kept going.
John Cena has 6. He got like 6 total moves, and even those look sloppy as shit.
I mean, how you not do an AA? You didn't do one AA in that match. Come on, bro.
Listen,
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar basically told John Cena, "You either put me over, I'm gonna put myself over." And John Cena rightfully put him over because you know Brock would have broken a table when it was supposed to.
John Cena did an interview recently, and he was talking about how that was his idea that he gets squashed.
That was Brock's idea. Brock and Stone Cold. They were like, "You should get squashed." And John Cena and Brock and Stone Cold was like, "You right. I should.
Okay, I saw an interview, right? If that's what y'all had in y'all minds was not on paper. Maybe for me, talking about, well, you have to go on the squash spree because you in the street. I remember all that very, very vividly. I didn't get, oh, you beat the taker, now you're unstoppable. I got you beat the taker, and I don't understand.
No one does.
Moving on.
Okay.
Listen, I want to say I don't like John Cena as much as I used to, but that Nexus stuff was bad. Also, hey everybody on Twitch, cause we on Twitch now. We everywhere. We everywhere. Find us everywhere. Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We on here too. TikTok. We back on
Oh.
TikTok, y'all.
Anika, everybody's
Yes.
also got nicknames now. Tag team nicknames.
What?
We not doing it. Hold on. We not doing this right now. Y'all we gonna do this later. We gotta get to the show.
Keep hitting me the hot chocolate. That's
Anika,
what it
on
is.
your end, think of a list of all the people that you do shows with, or you will be doing shows with. Think of nicknames that could go together. All right, the next.
Okay.
So we've decided the Nexus had potential to be good, but John Cena fucked it up as he usually does. Okay. So that means I'm gonna go with Skeet Skeet since we were right here. Skeet Skeet's debut on the main roster, right? Given all that happened afterwards, do we feel like it was actually good? For those who don't remember, her main roster debut was actually defeating AJ Lee on the night after WrestleMania and ending AJ Lee's streak because AJ Lee was, and getting married.
If you don't want to go back and watch that, though, you could watch Fighting with My Family featuring Zelina Vega as AJ Lee.
Or you could not and just say you didn't.
It's actually a decent movie. I enjoyed it myself. But
If you got brain cells to lose, go ahead and watch it.
Any noodles.
So I'd say that it was actually good for this part alone. In the era of Total Divas, number one, that made her stand out. And number two, I think it gave her more credit than she might have not needed. I mean, or might have not deserved. There you go. More so deserved, because as she wrestles now, right? It's like, was she that good? Was she
No.
good? Or what is it? Like I said, was it just the debut and the circumstances of being around people who can wrestle and people who could wrestle you never faced? So in that era of making a star, I think it actually
So
went well.
at this time, Mrs. Punkass was undefeated for what, over a year? Holding that title?
Almost a year.
Like, and she faced like 5 people at Mania and beat them all, and then the next day for her to lose to this girl she's never seen or heard of before, pretty cool.
A pale girl that walked out there and beat her.
I just feel like
I wasn't ready for Punk.
I just feel like that Paige's debut, going back and looking at it, she sucked. She always sucked. She benefited from having AJ Lee and their storytelling with AJ Lee, and she also benefited primarily from being in the ring with women who would carry her until she reached a way where she could kind of camouflage what she was doing. She sucked. She has always sucked. She sucked from the day that she decided to wrestle. I'm being very honest here. And it's not simply because I don't like her, although that is a major factor, to be quite clear. I just think that she can't wrestle. Like she's a step up from like Charmel, like a Charmel, or Rebel Reba wrestles better than her.
Now,
Marie.
now we say those two because
Wrestle better than her. Eva Marie and Paige are like right there, but Eva Marie has more like personality a little bit.
now
I
we
got a
say
hot take.
Rebel. Wait, we say Rebel and Charmel because if you have not seen worst matches ever, they had one of the top two. Now I don't blame Charmel or Reba. I blame their opponents. More so Charmel's opponent because Charmel actually had some decent moves, but what's her name? Janae. Okay, don't cause names. The sexy chick that don't have no. She's the one who brought Charmel down. Charmel actually was doing some very nice holds and some very nice wrestling moves. Her opponent did not give her anything. Fast forward to this.
Wait a minute.
All right, hot take. Brandy is better than all these women.
That's so hot. I agree with that.
Are the ones that we named?
Yeah, that's really that hot.
Yes.
Yes, we all agree with that.
I will go on record saying I want Brandy versus Dom, most overbearingly supportive significant other match.
Okay. So, real quick side note. How does Rhea get her comeuppance? Because she can't keep doing this. She can't keep letting Dom hit people in the face, and then Dom runs after her, and no one hits this chick.
Brandy is gonna get involved, and at first I was like, she's not gonna get involved until she tweeted, "Poppy can't slap her, but Mommy will." And I was like, yes, I need you to come out there and slap the shit out of her. I need you to slap her.
Like,
Because
please.
Brandy has been practicing. She's gotten more toned. She's been actually working. Like, she's been putting out videos. She's been working. Like, I want to see her at least get one good match. One good match. I don't need like a whole career.
I need to bring back the mixed match challenge, as Sammy has been saying, or intergender. She need to get hit. That's my favorite slam match for Rhea. I need her to get her comeuppance, please.
Now the Judgment Day is breaking apart, and so because there's tension between Damian and Finn.
Okay,
and then Mommy and Dom is celebrating like he won.
Y'all, we're gonna be talking about all for naught stuff. We gotta save that for tomorrow, y'all.
All right.
So
Real quick, I'll say this. Damien needs to understand Finn's pain because I'm not still over 2016 and Seth ruined Finn's championship match. I'm not over that. So I need Damien to understand Finn's pain and we get this belt off of Seth. That should be the end goal of the championship reign. All right, that's it.
ALW Skeet's debut actually good, going along with the storyline from then to her time in WWE.
Other than getting hurt, it was good for her. I mean, she held two. She's the only person to hold the NXT women's belt and the women's I guess it was the Divas belt at the time, right? At the same time. So.
Ashley, Charlotte Flair.
Well, she was the first to do it then. But yeah, I mean, I don't dislike Paige like you do. I think she's okay in the ring. I think she's a lot. I think comparing her to Charmel is very unfair to her. But
it is very unfair to Charmel. Apologies, Charmel.
It is what it is. Did she do anything that was amazing for the WWE women's division? No, I don't think so. I mean, she came in at a time where things were rough, and I don't think she made it a whole lot better. It got better shortly thereafter when the Four Horsewomen came in. But no, I mean, I don't think she did anything that tremendously changed the WWE women's division.
One could argue she did some things for the women. She got them new belts.
Yeah, like I bought my niece that Divas Championship title because she was an AJ Lee fan. But I'll say this: as much as I don't like the Bella Twins, they had the honor of working with the Four Horsewomen and getting better, so they can have better matches. Paige did not have the opportunity because she got hit in the neck, she got hurt, So I'm not sure how good she would have been if she was real into the thick of it. What?
She was in NXT with all the 4 horsewomen.
What?
Were they the 4 horsewomen that we knew of? No. Did they have the talent? Yes.
Okay.
And were they putting on far superior matches than she was? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I just want to say to those women, I wouldn't have wanted that belt after she had it either.
I just feel like personally, anybody who does that with the belts, that's really disrespectful, knowing that at any point in time, someone else could have that belt and it's bad enough your sweat is on it. Putting extra things on it. And making sure it's like when somebody kisses the belt, like that's just a lot. But NXT, yes, she was at NXT when Becky Lynch, Bailey, Sasha, and Charlotte were there. Were they the finished polished characters? No. Did she have opportunities to work? She worked with them in her other trios divas thing.
Yeah, she was in a trio with Charlotte
and then she worked with them all. She wasted prime opportunities because of her own issues that she still has yet to get taken care of.
Charlotte and Becky, that's what she worked with in that faction.
Yep.
But then she also worked with was it Liv and Raquel? When they had like that second faction?
Sonya and Mandy.
Sonya and Mandy.
Because Sonya more so because Mandy wasn't up there just yet.
Mandy Rose also never got there. Any kudos. Since we're in a mood to be nice. Look. The one that everybody was drooling over once everybody checked to make sure he was 18 and up. And then the pictures came out. Oh, if you don't know what I mean by the pictures, your boy Hook went to the strip club and he got turned out. How do I know? His eyes were as big as Tony Khan's when he has to make an announcement.
Booty off in the face.
They were saying that Hook was like, ooh.
Get off me. I'm not here.
He's about to have his face a stripper booty.
I think there's an easy answer to this one. The jury's still out. I mean, there's not enough of a career to tell. I mean, it looks like right now he's just going to continue being the handsome, heartless devil, and he hasn't been on TV for a while. But I'm fine with that. So let's see where it goes and give him a couple more years, and then I'll be able to comment more.
He's a solid 6 minutes on the card. Like, it's not a wasted thing. Like, the crowd enjoys him, and it's not like he has to have a tough back and forth. He just has to go out, throw a guy around a bit, maybe sell like 2 moves, and then throw around the guy a bit more and pin him.
He's over when he's on TV.
No, see, I'll say this: they have taken him off the boiler because when he was on Dynamite last Wednesday, that pop was nearly not as loud as when he first won the FTW title or when he first came out. So I'm not gonna say it's bad, but but it's doing this. They need to bring it back up. I'm not sure what happened because him with Danhausen was cool. Him and Jungle Hook was actually, didn't suck. So I'm not sure what happened. Like maybe it was just a lack of TV time for whatever reason. But it is going down this way. You need to bring it back up.
I am down for the TNT title versus the FTW title tag match.
He still needs more work on his promos too. He either needs to talk more and show us he can do it, or he needs to work on his talking because either he's not talking because he can't do it, or he needs to talk more and show he can. But right now, I'm not convinced he can talk. I mean, not really.
What did you say,
I was saying like he's been so twisted around. Like it's been start. It's been we can't build him up. If he is going to be in a tag team with Jungle Boy, he is definitely going to have to step up and talk because you can't have 2 non-talking people with no manager. As it's Stokely Hathaway is a ROH authority figure now. That's who I would have wanted to work with Hook as the manager, but
I'll say this, and it just hit my brain. They're doing to him what they did to Jade. where they put him in his own little universe and they want to interact with other people of the top quality because either you're afraid of letting him beat the top people or whatever. But it's like at some point in time, TK, you have to let these people mingle with your top stars if you really want them to get over. They can't be in their own little universe. Like I'm trying to think.
He suffered from the end of Team Taz. Like with Taz not around, he suffered, and without that fact.
Well, you can't keep him stuck in the middle. Like you're not moving him up. He ain't going down. He just in the middle. He's not really losing. He's not, and it's not big wins. You have to start moving him up. Have him face Warlord. Please get the title off Warlord. Do something.
Well, I think Luchasaurus beat Wardlow, and then Jungle Boy beat Luchasaurus.
Like who the hook word tangle? Who did Hook beat of a top quality? Right now, the only one I can think of is Ricky Starks. Even when he was Jungle Boy, they were going against the Firm.
I mean, to be fair and to be quite honest, I kind of would like to see Hook team up with Christian, or not team up with Christian, but go against Christian, just because I want to see Christian cut promos on somebody whose dad is still alive. And I just feel like he would talk so much shit about Taz that it would be hilarious. I'd want to see that.
Yeah, and then Taz can still do that red nigga choice too.
I also think that for whatever reason they keep yanking, Hook he's not Cody Rhodes. He cannot exist in his own little ecosystem. But I'm also finding, as I look at AEW, they kind of have that problem with like the 20-year-olds where they don't have like a set personality, and the set personality they have is lame as hell. Your 30 up folks actually have like personality, and they have like more detail to it, and more of a storyline. I don't know how they could bring that to a lower age, but they got to, because I'm at a point now where listening to a Jungle Boy promo, I might fall asleep, I might not.
It was decent that first four when they first were all four in the same ring. Don't know what happened.
Make him go fucking heel, and then he can just be like, I don't talk because I don't like you people. Boom, mic drop.
He beat Ethan Page 4 times.
Which, if Hook isn't going to talk, then have him be heel and have him not talk. He doesn't have to say, he just destroy people.
I mean, he had that charisma, because like you said, like Team Taz, it really wasn't like he changed anything about him. It was just too many people were cheering for him. Now he's a babyface. So it really wouldn't be like that hard of a transition to put him back in the heel. Just let him hit the wrong person.
So Hook, the jury is still out. However, we think that in order for him to make progress and grow, Tony needs to actually book him better.
How about Nick Wayne as him and Jungle Boy's spokesman?
Nick Wayne can't talk like that.
Nick Wayne can't talk? No.
Nick Wayne with it. Nick Wayne, I'm sorry.
I feel like he's better than the other two.
Yeah, but that's a low bar.
You're right. All right. Speaking of Skeet and factions.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Force women debuting into factions. And much of their being in factions. Do we think that this benefited anyone that is not Charlotte Flair?
Words, true words of a debate. There we go. No. Okay. I'll say this. On screen, No. Behind the scenes, team dad all day. That's a true friendship. I love them. Like, I'll say this: when Tamina was having her fake wedding and they were her bridesmaids, I was all here for it. The only thing that was missing. They should have let Sasha and Naomi help her win the belt. That's the only thing. They were right there. All I needed was a bank statement and a review and let her win the belt one time. Why? Why did no one
That
think
would have
of
done
this?
so much for the 24/7 title if you have Team Bad get back together as the tag team champions and then the 24/7 champion, and there's
Nobody
just
even
shenanigans going
thinking.
on every once in a while. Like that
Like,
would have done so
come
much
on.
for that title.
Come on, man. I would have loved that. That was the only thing I was waiting for. But yeah, no. Besides Charlotte, no.
Did anyone else besides the friendship off screen that was made by Team Bad? Did anybody else besides Charlotte Flair benefit from having the Three Horsewomen debut into factions? I also argue that she benefited from Bailey not coming up at the super hype of Bailey Mania.
Right? Like, when that era came, I'm trying to think because I remember that debut very, very distinctly. I'm like, but when did Asuka come? Because I don't remember when she came, but I just remember when I saw her, she was a boss chick. I don't remember Bailey's actual debut, but I loved her. But yeah, that whole I don't know when they both came out, but more so, yeah, no. It just served Charlotte, because thinking back, who was the champion? Nikki, and she beat Nikki for the title sooner or later. Yeah, eventually, and no one else. It took years, and also moments that they weren't planned, like Charlotte versus Becky, and Becky finally slapped the crap out of her, and they thought that was gonna make Becky a heel, but it actually made her the man, and everyone adored her, and they didn't know what to do with it until they finally said, you know what, F it, let her be a babyface. Sasha, they had some. I remember that very distinctively. And I was just thinking, and every time they went at it, I'm like, why are they letting Charlotte beat Sasha on Raw, but never on a pay-per-view? Is it just me that's noticing this? Why is this a thing? Why can't they ever? And they're like, oh, back and forth. Like, yeah, back and forth, but you never let her win on a pay-per-view. Why?
If I remember correctly, I think I heard that Triple H actually begged Vince to leave Bailey in NXT.
Okay, so with Triple H, I think he knows what was going down, and I can totally see that. It was like, if you're gonna let my Bailey come here, you're not gonna ruin her, and that's exactly what almost happened. She's so happy. I'm like, what? Why is that a negative? And she's so happy, and she's a fan. Let me meet my childhood fan. Let me meet my childhood heroes in the back. You think I'm not gonna ask for an autograph? I'm not gonna ask for a hug. But you think I'm professional because I asked for that? Oh, y'all dumb as hell, in fact.
Well, it was a situation of Vince took Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha all at the same time, and was going to take Bailey too. He was like, leave me one. Leave me one.
They didn't have a storyline. He knew that putting Bailey into a faction would never work. Like, what faction would she have gone into?
And all in all, everyone got fed to Charlotte. Everyone got fed to Charlotte. No one beat Charlotte distinctively. Until 2000, I want to say 17, 18. No one, no. It was the Charlotte show, and everyone got fed to Charlotte. So I totally say yes. Please don't ruin one of my stars. Please let me keep one of these as an outright wrestler. Yeah.
like I'm trying to think of who was on NXT at that time. So like there was Bailey.
And then it
I
was
don't think
also
Asuka debuted yet.
yeah, and I think right after Bailey, I think
Was it
Oscar ran
Alexa Bliss? I think it was Bailey and Alexa Bliss were the only two he had. I could be wrong about that though.
probably. 'Cause I want to say Bliss debuted in 2017. I remember her. She was it was SmackDown. I think it was a year after.
I mean that'd be real rough for Paul.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I don't really even remember. I mean, I don't really remember all that well that specific them being in factions. But I mean, obviously, Charlotte's probably the one that's been, had the most title reigns, had the most whatever, been pushed the most. I mean, Becky's right up there. Obviously, we know about Sasha, and we know where Bailey's at right now. She can't get a win, so has it benefit? Who's it benefited the most in the long run? Probably Charlotte.
Yeah, no, I remember it too. And before I'll say that before they switched the Divas belt and made a women's championship, it was fairly even. I'm using fairly very loosely, where it wasn't a distinctive. That's our chick. It was they're all on the same level. But after they finally removed the not Bella. Total Divas title and made it the women's title again, that's when you're like, okay, this is clearly for Charlotte. But I do remember when they were going all against each other. It was a nice fun time.
Okay. So only Charlotte benefited from having a 3 horsewoman debut, and that's why she's at where she's at right now.
Oh.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the night Punkhouse Phil decided to sit crisscross applesauce and vent his little frustrations because he just could not take the fact that he was not Vince's sexy boy. He was not Vince's boy's boy. Oh no, he was not Vince's sexy boy.
I watched this again today, and the whole time I was watching, I could see him sitting at that fucking table eating that muffin, doing the same thing. It was like deja fucking vu. It's like, here we go again. Like, fuck.
That's why I'm angry.
I say fuck so-and-so. And I complain a lot, and I critique a lot of shit on here. It's all in good, whatever. That dude is a whiny fucking hater. That dude has got on TV twice and just dragged anybody that he thinks is getting more than him, and just it's terrible. Like, it is not a good look. Like, you're a grown ass man, dude. You're sitting on national TV whining like a little baby. I mean, it's. I don't care if you're bringing light to shit that everyone should know. Fuck you. You sound like a whiny little snitch. You sound like a hater that's mad that somebody else is getting something that you're not. Shut the fuck up.
Please stop insulting babies and snitches. Please. Do not insult the babies and the snitches.
I will say this. The only thing I disagree with is that calling Stephanie an idiot and Triple H a doofus son-in-law. That's the only thing I disagree with.
He was also wrong because Vince, I am a firm believer in the fact that Vince never really intended to leave WWE to Stephanie and Triple H. Why would he? They didn't do anything like he did. The only one who did what he would have done and go out and make his own money and potentially be able to buy out that company was Shane.
I think Vince always intended to sell it before he died.
The worst.
I will stay silent about the CM Punk's the pipe bomb until you all have had your say, because I like Punk ass Phil, so I'm gonna let y'all have y'all say. I'm even gonna mute myself.
The worst part of it is a decade of people online saying that this was the best moment in wrestling history and just gushing about it. And it's like, This shit is scripted. It's clearly scripted. You're blowing your load off of something that was a nothing thing.
Even if it's not scripted, what did he really say? He just sat up there and whined about not getting what everyone else gets. I mean, it's not like he said anything that was revolutionary. He called The Rock Dwayne and broke the fourth wall. Woo! Like, that's, I mean, what
Oh, he
fucking
mentioned Colt Cabana.
yeah, I mean, you said nothing, dude. You really, it's not like you said something that was groundbreaking or earth shattering.
Bring back ice cream bars.
Well, I'm going to take my belt. I'm going to take that belt and leave. Okay? Please go. Good riddance to bad fucking rubbish. We'll just make another belt. Move the fuck on.
What are you going to say, Dolores?
You
I have
know,
stuff to say.
I was never a big John Cena fan, but I always liked John Cena better than CM Punk. Randy was my boy, though.
I have words. Dolores, what you want to say?
I was gonna say, for me, I don't necessarily like Punk ass Phil, but I get a respect because it was like he just sat there and just even after, like you notice the mic goes out and he's just bamming it. He turns to the camera and still keeps going, whining, and it's like, dude, you did this years ago and you forwarded it to a press conference and did it in front of millions of people again, and this time you exposed, essentially doxed somebody's mama in the process. It was just like, it is what it is. And then you got to fight and still keep your job. To me, I hate to say it as a hood rat girl, that is the epitome of I can do what the fuck I want when I want and ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. If I had that type of privilege, I probably would do some stupid shit like that. But I ain't got that type of privilege. Y'all have seen me explode on people on live. That's not cute, but I did what I did. But that's what I'm saying. He gets to do it constantly. And he knows you need me before I need you. So I'm just going to say what I want to say. I think the part that was scripted was what he said in the beginning. When he started to go off on this long tangent, and you notice that even in the background, the commentators like, why is he doing this? And he still kept going, and they started to cut off the mic. He had took it from down the street to around the corner, 3 blocks over, and he was doing some shit he wasn't supposed to be doing. That's the only thing I like about it. I can respect that. You just said whatever the fuck you felt, and it was just like, do something about it. And nobody did nothing about it. And you did it again. It was like, do something about it. Somebody tried to do something about it, and then you and your homeboy got to fight, and you had 9 months off to have a vacation, and then you come back to work. And where his job at?
Now,
what can you do with Phil? Ain't nothing you can do with Phil at this point.
Yeah.
Tony cannot punish him anymore.
Oh, he can. Oh, let's be. Oh no, let's not put that into out of the universe. You can. You just don't want to because you want that money.
Tony has no authority.
He has the authority, but he's being a punk ass, and he's not doing it.
I gotta interject here for what Sammy said. I fully agree with what Sammy said because the reports that came out that were not of Punk's camp was that Legal, aka Mega, was with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega when they went to have a civilized discussion. She got caught up in the melee. That is your head of Legal. And because Warner Brothers Discovery Media wanted CM Punk back, they have enabled him and Ace Steel to now have a hostile work environment wherein the potential harm and the actual harm that people incurred does not matter. Kenny Omega was clearly bitten on his arm. The teeth indentations were there days later. Ace Steel got fired and then rehired. He gets to work from home now. They put out a narrative about them knocking out Larry's teeth. There was no apologies for it. CM Punk sat his happy ass on that media scrum and said what he said about the Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page with no proof, to the point the dirt sheet reporters were like, we get more information from you, Phil, than we do anyone else in this situation. and there was no apologies for that.
Still
Okay.
have to apologize.
Because the higher ups view CM Punk as such a commodity, in part because of the pipe bomb, they have enabled this man's massive ego to essentially, before it even has started, like implode, collision.
Not
And if
only
he
have they
does not
brought him back,
respond,
But
not
TK
only have they
enabled
brought him back,
everybody.
but because he can't play in the same sandbox with everybody else, they built him his own fucking sandbox because he can't cooperate with everybody else.
Him and the
Go over
Misfit
there, we're going to
Toys
build
are
you your
all
own
on
sandbox,
collision.
and we'll record that sandbox because people want to see you.
And this is the thing about it. It's not just Punk. TK is doing this with a lot of people. Hey, Andrade, you said some messed up stuff. Sammy said some messed up stuff. When y'all come to work, don't bother each other. Okay. I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna slap the shit out of him anyway. And then what you say? Wait a minute, I'm gonna suspend you for a little bit, and because you injured, I'm gonna give you some time off, and you come back, and then I'm gonna put you on this show with all the misfit toys that have problems with people.
I
No,
don't blame him for Andrade,
I don't
because
blame him for
if
slapping
you
the
have
shit out of him either.
Andrade and then you got Sammy, yes, Sammy can do more flippity doo-dah, but Andrade is a bigger star, and he probably cost him a little bit more than
Sammy
Sammy.
got slapped the shit out of twice, and they
When you
never
have,
got a punishment. Never got a punishment. You got to realize somebody had to do something to get slapped, not once but twice.
Thank you. You talking
when
about
you
it's not Sammy's fault. When you have a reputation of being a dick, let's be very clear. That's on you. When someone says, I want to get out of my contract, who can I throw a fight and it's believable? The first name is Sammy Guevara. That's on you. You gotta change your attitude behind the stage, bro. Because that should not be your reputation. Now
let's not forget that John Moxley said, I worked at that other place for a long time and a lot of other places, and this locker room is the worst I've been in. So that tells you all you need to know about what's actually going on behind the scenes at AEW.
I mean, you
Bruh.
party, you with your
Yeah.
wrestlers. And then Sammy gonna say, I don't know why I'm not getting opportunities no more. You know why? You can't party with him no more. You grew up. Now you hanging out with your wife. Now you ain't smoking and drinking and doing all that stuff. He put you down on the totem pole. That's what it is. That's why you ain't getting opportunities. Especially ain't gonna get no more after you have that baby. It's over.
All right.
Now I'll
Mika's been
say this
holding her tongue. She wants to talk. Go ahead.
I'll say this going back to the pipe bomb. I'm trying to differentiate from brawl outs, but it is hilarious how it really is like, oh my god, this nigga was the same dude. We just didn't know about him because we were on the internet like that. But I will say this. The top phrase I got from that is that when he told John Cena, you're not the best in the world. Even though nothing really came after it, right? Cena was still Cena. They gave the belt to him. I think just that being said, I will say was something that needed to be said, right? Just on the fact of John Cena having this long behind career, and we just went over how many people that he never put over. Now, I'm not saying that it should have been CM Punk to be the person to be the top guy, but for Cena to be the top guy that long and so many, we never got anyone else for 10 years. And that's the mentality of Vince, because look at Hogan, look at Austin. The difference between Austin and Hogan was that Austin got hurt, and thankfully that kind of made room for other people to be the top person for a minute. But it's like that did need to be said. Now, like I said, the work after he said that wasn't in place, and crazy enough, I'm not sure who said it. It was Cody who actually did the work that should have happened when after the pipe bomb of going and making your own company and actually making it better, which is hilarious. At least that did need to be said. It did need to be said. And I'm not sure how much of a, would you call it a deep dig it went into it, but at least it chipped away into something. I want to say it started something where it like one guy wasn't the top guy for that long. I'll say that.
Anybody have anything else about the pipe bomb in particular?
No.
Nope.
Go ahead.
Boom. Pipe bomb sucked. I say this as somebody who had and I'm putting myself out there, laugh all you want, so I don't care. When he came out, I found his little scrawny ass so adorable. I found Punk ass so cute. I was going through a phase. I had issues. However,
It wasn't just you.
in looking at the pipe bomb, even a week later, it still didn't hit because you sat there on that stage and said all that shit. But you ain't get in John Cena's face and say that shit. Like, I noticed he did a lot of shit talking. But around people who might actually snap and break his face, he ain't get in their face. I just want to point that out. I think CM Punk has a great ability to have like a cult of personality, hence the name of the song. However, I do not find the pipe bomb to be as good as everyone hypes it up to be. And I think that it has gotten him, he leveraged it and it got him to a really great point wherein he gets a whole new show essentially based off the pipe bomb. I believe there is a reason that out of all of the elite, it was the Bucks and Cody who reached out. Hangman and Kenny both were kind of like, do we? And I believe there was a shoot interview when it's actually on Being the Elite, the channel, I believe, where they were doing like their hotel like conversations where they asked about CM Punk and like working with him. And Kenny's face was very much like, yeah, I don't ever want to work with him. So it's all standing beef. But we can all agree that CM Punk likes to repeat his promos and just switch out names. Yeah. Let's talk about Orange Cassidy. ALW's hater ass and shush.
Yes, you can. Don't say nothing.
Don't
say nothing at all.
Now, when Orange Cassidy came out, he was very much, I'm a slacker. He did not wrestle a lot. When he wrestled, it would be kind of quick matches. If it was longer matches, you started to get a glimpse of Orange Cassidy is not quite what he presents. Switch him now, and Orange Cassidy is fully not how he presents. Like, you think he's a slacker? If he has like a good opponent, he goes off. However, do you think, as far as his storyline, should he always have been presented as I'm far more dangerous than I let on? Or was the idea of having him be kind of a special attraction who, if pushed into a longer match, can deliver a really great match?
This probably is the toughest out of all of them. Because I did love the presentation of we don't know what he can do. He's just a dude who's just a cool dude. And then all of a sudden he goes against Pac and he's flipping and he's hitting people and he's going fast like 100 miles. We're like, wait, time out, wait a minute. I did love that shock value of it all. And even though it was hard, I love trying to explain to my dad who this dude was. He was like, he can wrestle. He can wrestle. He just don't. The laziness is smart. It's not laziness though. It's just it's a trap. It's like, what? Okay, I got it. He doesn't care until he needs to care. And I did love that. Now, I'll say this. The bigger question is, should he have been kept that way, or is what he's doing now good for his career? I think it was necessary just to get more people behind him. Because even though me, CM, not ALW didn't like it, We wanted to capture everyone for him to be up to go higher up ranks. And for that to happen, he needed to wrestle more. So people like ALW can stop hating and realize he's a good freaking wrestler. So it was I'll say it was necessary for him to wrestle more and not be the mystique that he is. Go, Sammy.
All right. Well, I'm not a big fan, but I only got two things to say. One, he's the American Toru Yano, and two, Mimosa match.
We don't talk about the most match.
That was the pandemic. Everybody was throwing stuff over the Raw. It was
actually that match was not that bad.
It wasn't
mimosas.
It was just a big batter of orange liquid.
I wanted mimosas after that.
Like it should have more bubbly. More bubbly.
Yeah, give me all the bubbly and give me some orange.
Like let Jericho float up and look all drunk and passed out while he was in the back.
What hurt Jericho's eyes more? The alcohol or the orange juice?
The orange juice. He's used to taking facials with alcohol.
That's acid. Orange juice. Someone else say words.
Why do you hate Orange Cassidy so much, ALW?
Thank you.
I don't know Cassidy all that much. I just don't like the shtick. I think he's a really good wrestler. The question is his gimmick work? Sure. Is he over? Absolutely, 100%. I mean, he's played it to its hilt. Do I think that he should have? Do I think that this new or letting him wrestle more and show more of his skill is better than the original? I think once you do it once and the cat's out of the bag, it's a hard time putting it back in the bag. I mean, once you give him any time and you see what he could do, then obviously you have to give him more time because he's a good wrestler. He just doesn't move the needle for me.
We need a reason why he's doing it though. I think that came in my mind. I'm like, so you were a cool dude until necessary. Now you're the champ. Why do you want to wrestle more? Orange Cassidy. That's a sit down interview with Renee. Why have you been going so hard, sir? And that was never in your nature. And I would love to know the answer to that. And that'd be a very nice little moment of his growth.
It's fun. I didn't know how fun it was. I think for me, when Orange Cassidy kind of morphs full Goku, I like the speed in which he does that for certain opponents and how much longer it takes him for other opponents. So like he didn't switch into I can out wrestle you in most any style with Wheeler Yuta like right away. But he did do that with some of his other opponents. It's kind of like he's testing you to see which way he should go and when he should turn it up so that he can rest a little bit more. And those matches, like all of those matches, come out really, really good and really interesting.
I'll say this, the best one where you not gonna say that like, yeah, it still works. He's still over. I want to say the best match where it perfectly blended into his psychology of lackadaisicalness to see what exactly what CM said with him versus Dan Garcia. I love that match. I think that was a perfect blend of psychological warfare with I actually can go in the ring. Like just the they're doing how it opened. We're doing drop turn holes and locks, and then all of a sudden I think Garcia had his leg and he just but took his leg off and walked away. I'm like, okay, he finally found his rhythm. He finally found, there you go, his style of how he wants to wrestle in the ring. But best moment, hands down, is when Sting did it, when he was doing the kick with Sting. I know he loved that, and because of that, I loved it. When him and Sting were doing the kicks, and then Sting just did the whole. I'm like, yeah. If I was him, I retire. My Sting did my moves, and he actually appreciates me. I don't care whoever says whatever. I love it now. I'm in heaven.
Okay. Anyone else have anything about Orange Cassidy?
Nope.
After Forbidden Door, I wouldn't mind him versus MJF. As like we're all saying this. Who? Because MJF said it. No one is built to face me. No one has the wins. No one has the pedigree. OC does. I'm not saying it should be on pay-per-view, but that would be a bomb behind Dynamite match. Give me a 1 month build. That would be a great story to tell until you get the next person up to face MJF. I would love to see that.
Alright.
MJF is not wrestling on Dynamite.
Well, no. He had contractually obligated 30 days. That's how he faced Takeshita. So if in 30 days he doesn't wrestle anybody, yes, TK can force him into a match on Dynamite. He faced Takeshita because that's in his contract. As a champion, he has to wrestle within 30 days. That's in the contract.
I'll check the cage match for that, but he's only had 4 matches this year.
Yeah.
Every 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. I think that
was just a gimmick thing.
I just know that's how him and Takeshita got into a match. That's what TK said. That's what TK said.
You know, TK be lying a lot, and anyway, are almost. We have one more after this one.
2 months. He went 2 months between matches, between Bryan Danielson and the tag team match.
Well, that's because Bryan Danielson almost killed him. So. Dark Order and Hangman and that whole saga. Here, it's a 2-part question. One,
it's not done yet.
It was really good, and it actually helped with the development of Dark Order and Hangman. Tony knew how to book. And 2, do we think we would have gotten this and the eventual return of Hangman to the Elite if Mr. Brody Lee was still with us?
So the plan was for him and Brody to have a match.
Okay. Y'all better say words, because I have so much to say. You better say words.
Okay, we're gonna let Anika go last.
Yes.
I think that Hangman and the Dark Order worked. I wish they had more things from BTE on actual Dynamite, because that did help develop the storyline, especially kind of backstory of Hangman's on the decline, but he's seen the Dark Order and they're becoming more and more of a family, and it's like, I want this. I think if he had that match against Mr. Brody Lee, he still would have come into the Dark Order, but he would have been he would have been kind of like 10 and been kind of a protege. It would have been 10, Silver, and Hangman being like the dominant forces. I think overall the storyline works, and I think Tony needs to work on his booking because that's where we're kind of fucking up.
I mean, Hangman and Brody Lee would have been amazing, obviously. I think
full rope match. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's how that would have ended.
I think Hangman Page did more for the Dark Order than the Dark Order probably did for Page, just because he was already bigger and more well known at the time. I really wish that, obviously, for a number of reasons, not the least of which is just somebody die early, but to see what the Dark Order would have been had Brody Lee still been with us, because it's become now such a joke kind of thing, and not, I like them together. I mean, I don't think you had to have Adam Page with the Dark Order to get him coming back to the Elite now. I mean, I think you could have had that with or without the Dark Order, but I do like them together. The Dark Order is hysterical, especially on BTE. which I think is even more bizarre because, there's this disconnection for me between Dark Order and then this funny kind of face group that everybody loves, and it's like you're supposed to be the Dark Order, like it should be dark and creepy and menacing and not funny and not, but at the same time, they're over that way. So, I mean, Tony Khan's booking is often poor, and I don't think that it accomplished what he wanted to accomplish here. But for the most part, I thought it was a good. I mean, I liked them. I liked them together, the Dark Order.
Bring the creeps back.
No, that was no.
Nah.
We're good. Are we good?
Yeah,
right.
Go ahead.
Here we go. All right. So, I actually like the time it took, so I won't be that dramatic. I'll say this: it was just I don't like the holes that were in the plan. It feels like there were the plan where it would have been Hangman ultimately leaves Dark Order to join the Elite, but there are holes for whatever reason. When was it? It was the one time where was the review where he was wearing neon green and yellow tassels, and it resembled the Young Bucks. And on BTE, he was looking at it like it was his long lost best friend. It was like I'm not sure when, but it was one time where help me out here. Heyman had a match, and it was Adam Silver. Like the Dark Order came to him and like, oh, who you gonna pick? And he didn't pick none of them. It was a story there, but for some reason it just dropped it, and I don't know why. Because, like I said, it was so many freaking holes. I'm literally trying to think what made them drop it completely. Because they were on a nice trajectory. It was a nice story. We were actually going into the reunion of yes. And then the whole trios titles, the whole trios titles came about, which y'all the Young Bucks asked Hangman, but he was still with the Dark Order. And they just dropped it again. Like it was like I needed consistency. If they had consistency, Dark Order will be in a very much different place than they are right now. Again, when Uno faced Moxley on behalf of Hangman, he was just bloodied up. They didn't do anything. And that's I'm getting really pissed off because why? Why would you just drop it? There was no reason to drop that storyline. And then going to the greatness of Stu Grayson, who's not on the freaking television. Why? And he's awesome.
On ROH.
He's what?
He's on ROH.
Before he was on ROH, when his contract expired, and they just said we're not going to renew your contract for whatever reason. It's a whole lot of inconsistencies that pissed me off because I did like Dark Order. I actually forgot that it was Brody Lee that was recruiting Heyman exactly. I do remember now that they had conversation, but it wasn't completely together. That would have been a banger of a match. I would have loved that. But yeah, for TK, I want to ask what was the end game? Because in every story, he has a particular person he wants to put over. I really don't think it was Dark Order that he wanted to put over. I think it was just the main story of the Elite, which it should be. I'm okay with that, but some of that should have rubbed off on the Dark Order where they're in a better place. Like they should have had a tag titles by now, Uno and Stu, at least the trios tag titles. But like the Dark Order should be in a better place than they are right now, and that doesn't make me sad because look at no offense, right now there's no story. Like where's Adam Silver at? Where's Alex? Now even Anna Jay is just in the wind because she's not even with JAS anymore. They were great as
Reynolds they were just fighting on Dynamite.
Yeah.
When? What?
Like last week, I think. Or it might have been ROH. I might be wrong there.
It might be like I saw something where the headline on ROH was some of the Dark Order breaking up. I'm like, that should not be on ROH. No offense. It shouldn't be. It should be on Dynamite with actual eyeballs on your TV screen.
Hangman wasn't the one that they were trying to recruit. They were trying to recruit Jungle Boy. And what ended up with Hangman is they were like hanging out with Hangman when he was drinking, and they were talking about him joining, and then it got short. And they were talking to Brody about it. It was like, you got Hangman? It was like, well, we couldn't get him to sign. What do you mean you didn't get him to sign?
I do remember that where it was.
It was beautiful storytelling. I loved it.
What was it? It was something happened and they're chanting F Hangman, and then Hangman came in. Yeah, F Hangman, and they're like, wait, everyone, calm down. We're gonna take this slow. We're gonna get him. I like that was a great moment on BTE.
Even Hangman chanting F Hangman, F Hangman.
The chilies of it all, where the Elite messed up and Chili's signed the Dark Order, and they all got to have like lawnmowers to rub it in Hangman's face, and they all went out to Chili's and they sang the Chili's theme song.
What?
All right. What about you, Dolores? What you got to say?
As far as Hangman with the Dark Order, it just, for me, it didn't click. And the only good things were part of BTE. Other than that, I was like, every Wednesday you come on my TV, he don't want to be a part of you all. You all feel like you got to force him. And now it's like he's leaving you all and you all are begging him to stay. What point are you all going to either get together as a group or just break apart and be singles people? Because Dark Order is not the same. It's over with at this point. It sucked, then it got better, and now it's sucking again.
Yeah, to be fair, it was like half a year ago where Hangman was like, I think we should take a break. And now, half a year later, Dark Order's like, is this break still on? What's going on? It's like, he ain't taking your calls, man.
It's like a bad relationship. And Dark Order's stalking at this point. Like, at this point, and then in BTE for the past couple of weeks, the fact that they have insinuated that they're going to tell Omega that the Bucks did this, and the Bucks are not catching on to every week. They really don't tell. They just making them nervous. It's like, at what point is Omega going to go back and be like, I see what y'all did to me? Like, is he supposed to go like 2 years without seeing this, quote unquote?
To be fair, Matt Jackson did destroy that phone to ensure they never saw it. And also, to be fair, this week it kind of does seem like Kenny does know. Because Don Callis, if you really wanted to break up the Elite, he could just be like, the Young Bucks chose Hangman over you. We wouldn't even have these problems.
It's like on being the Elite. Sometimes they pretend like he just went years without knowing something. And then when Adam Cole came back with Baby Laughs, is that Kenny just slipped up and told that he killed him. Like, he was just like, yeah, we gave you. And I'm like, do you realize that he really wasn't dead? Like, you didn't stay on him back? Like, there's a point where we can be funny, and then there's a point where it's like, come on now, we need to do something a little bit different. BTE sometimes has this hit or miss moments with me.
I mean, they did give him a poison monster. They then did get badass Matza to get rid of the body. It is not their fault that he did not do it correctly. And Adam Cole just took a nap for 4 years and did nothing in those 4 years. Nothing at all. There was nothing to see here. He did nothing. And if they tell you he did something, you believe it. He did nothing.
So I'm
always says, if you have never seen Being the Elite, go to Being the Elite, and it's like the first anarchy in the arena, and skip to about midway and scroll a little bit back because Vanguard One's funeral, if nothing else gets you, Vanguard One's funeral will get you. I'm guessing Blue is here. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. If nothing else gets you, Cody Rhodes being drunk and saying, I don't know why I'm here. I'm an atheist. Heyman being fucked up and getting up there and talking about anything. Matt Hardy saying he met Jesus Christ and drank water with him, and then it clicks with you. He turned the water into wine. Just the hilarity of all of that. Frankie Kazarian just yelling out, What? Why are we here? Like stuff like that. That's good humor there. But yeah, we are not stop violently scissoring. I feel so abused.
Stop! It's so aggressive.
Anika, go ahead and say what you gotta say while they violently scissor.
So I think I have the best way to sum up my feelings. When people are like, why are you not over this breakup? It's because I don't know why it happened. And so I think that's where I'm at with Dark Order. I am mad, not because of a breakup, it's because I don't know why the breakup happened. You just dropped them. And that was it. And they were
Hangman's
worth
trying to
saving.
ghost them.
Huh?
Hangman's trying to ghost them, but he keeps forgetting that they work together and,
It's more so Hangman doesn't, like, he was beefing with Moxley and them. He thought it was beating down everybody. Like, they beat down the Dark Order because of him. Didn't want that to happen. So, technically, sort of, it's in ROH. It's not like 1,000% done. It's mostly done. It's not well done.
It's over. Somebody take old yellow in the back and shoot it at this point. It should be over by now. It's like, why are we doing this? Hangman was just hanging with you all because, okay, I explained this in a chat one time. Sometimes characters do things and you think they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're really not. Example, i.e., Cody Rhodes. When he put Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn together, he didn't want them to be best friends again. He needed some help. He needed help. That's all he did it for. Listen, Hangman went to the order because he needed some help. That's what he needed. He needed help. And he couldn't call his friends for help. So you know what? He didn't do it out of the goodness of his heart. He really didn't want to be their friends. And once his friends came and picked him back up, you know what he said? Deuces. But these stalkers ain't getting a hit. And it's 2 of them left. It's like 2 main stalkers left that ain't getting a hit. That they are no longer a group. It's like the Temptations or something. When you got 2 people who just still say, I can just add members. I can keep going. We can keep making this. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Okay.
I know you want to leave me.
Well, to be
But
fair,
you
Blue here with his bad ad joke.
they are
to
coming
let
to see
you go.
At this point, they are coming to see Otis because Otis is like the last.
Damn it, Blue. Well, I'm going to still say what I'm going to say. Hangman was lonely and Dark Order was a rebound girl just waiting for his ex to call him back.
What's up, Safet?
Blue beat me to it. I was waiting my turn.
Y'all took it.
Great minds think alike.
Y'all ain't have to do that. That's cool.
So yeah, I agree with everyone. We need a clean break. Stop having my number in your top 5. Stop dangling me along. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
He did.
Go ahead and free yourself.
He told them he wanted not to be with them, and they still going back. He hit it once, and all of a sudden, you calling and blowing up my phone. He don't want to be with you. I want to be something I told you. It's a one-night stand. We're going to hit each other once, and that's all it is. But still, Dark Order's like, hello. Yeah, what you doing? Where you at? Can I come over? Can we sit inside? No. Get off my phone.
All right then. Anything else here?
Nope.
Last but not least, the most important one for us to discuss: Jade Cargill's undefeated streak.
Woo!
too.
This is not necessarily was Chris Statlander the best one to end it. It is more so was having Jade go undefeated for as long as she did the best idea or not.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, go ahead, Dolores. You can go first.
I'm gonna say no because the people she went up against, it was like rarely did she have good, talented wrestlers she went up against. It was like local jobber number 5. Come on here, bam, she just killed them. I needed her to go like. Listen, I used to be a Goldberg fan, but now I realize he sucked as an adult. Sorry that I just felt that way. But at least he fought some top wrestlers. He did the same moves over and over again, but he fought some top wrestlers. I can't say that for her. Maybe I could say Athena, Ruby Soho. You can't even consider that Statlander match worth anything. She really had any top matches out of all those things. It's like you couldn't give her nothing.
Her best match was Taya.
Like you couldn't even get her to face even just champion versus champion. It ain't gotta be titles on the line. You could have did that with 1 or 2 of the champions. You didn't do that. Like if she had to face the champion and won, that way when she lost eventually to Statlander, I could say, man, because she beat the champion or was in a tag match and pinned the champion, she could go for the championship. Now you got her standing in the back of the line having to go all the way forward again. That's crazy to me.
She probably would have lost the belt at all out last year if Statlander hadn't gotten injured.
That's mostly my problem, is that I feel like we were waiting for Statlander to return. That is not how you tell a freaking story. I have more, but other words, people say words.
Did it work for her? Was it the smart thing? No, I mean, I don't think so. I think it made her look overpowered. They could put her in a corner, and then they didn't know how to get out of it. This was the only way to do it, was to have her lose back-to-back because she is so Jade. But at the same time, she's not really Jade enough to, fight the top tier people either. Like, so she's unstoppable at the second tier, I guess. We'll see what happens or where she goes from here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she could have been undefeated, which is fine. I don't think it needed to go 60-0. It could have ended at like 20, and that would have been fine. Showed her that she was a good wrestler, whatever. Let her get some squash matches, but then actually lose, at some point to a decent wrestler. It's debatable whether Athena or Taya has been her best match. I think Taya has been her best match probably. She's defeated a lot of people that were nobodies, a lot of squash matches in that 60-0, so which made her look overpowered, but at the same time didn't really show her skill level. I do think it gave her the chance to grow as a worker in the ring, which I think if you look at, you can see she's gotten a lot better over the time she's been in AEW, and I think all that work has probably helped. But overall, no, I don't like it when they do that and when you go undefeated that long. That's just my personal opinion.
I'm going to buck the trend. Blue, you are being a hater. Yes, we noticed that you're still being a hater. For those of y'all who don't want to just hear my words. Safet also saying here, I think Jade having the undefeated streak was actually a good thing. I think that if they wanted to invest more in their women's division, the women that they saw potential in, like more potential in, should have had longer matches with Jade. So like you have your Athenas, you have your Taya Valkyrie, you have like your Chris Statlander, you have like some folks in there who are top women, and AEW needs to like book them better. I agree, Blue. That's why I don't mind the 60-0. I think it could have just been booked better. And I think that's been an underlying thing that we've kind of talked about. If booked better, a lot of these things that we thought were bad could have been a lot better. Like, to be fair, John Cena losing to the Nexus would have been perfect. It would have been perfect.
And with Jade, you saw little hints of her getting better, but every time she got better, they brought a jobber and let her growth weaken. Like her versus Jade the first time, that was a great match on Rampage. I remember that match, and that was awesome. The build up with her and Athena, I loved that. That was probably the closest that I actually thought someone was going to beat her. What did they do? You gave them a 4-minute match, if that. Why? That's dumb. It's like it's like if you would have gotten her out of that bubble, I think this 60-0 reign would have been way differently told. Like Goldberg, no offense. Okay, I won't go back. I will keep my memories alone. I won't change a thing. But me not going back and remembering right now, that Goldberg streak was fire. It was who's next? I don't care. That was hot. And then when you got to him, there you go. When you got to him beating Hogan for both titles, that was probably the most memorable match of WCW for me, Anika. Now, but you didn't do that with Jade, and I don't think that's the problem. That was never the end game, and it should have been. The end game should have been her moving to the top spot, her beating a Sheeta, her beating a Britt Baker, her beating a Hater, her beating someone out of her freaking bubble. But you didn't let her do that. Why? Because you were freaking promoter. On it. And then again, you were waiting for Statlander. When Statlander got hurt, this is a year, is it not? You're telling me that your plan was to wait a whole freaking Yeah, your plan was to wait a whole freaking year. That is not a good plan. Now, again, for me, when it was 50-0, it should have happened. You should have had someone. You should have had. There you go. You should have had someone in place to be able to beat her. Now, last point. The breakup of the baddies. That really pisses me off because that story could have been told way better. And I really, on the like of me, do not understand why it wasn't. You had Red Velvet come into this group and they wreaked house, and not forgetting that was Jade's first competitor. She knows Jade the most. The story could have been told. She got into this group to figure out how exactly to beat Jade. And when she finally figured it out, that's when she breaks from the group to get that title. But you didn't do that? Can anyone even tell me how exactly they broke up? It just fizzled. Yeah, they had a match, but it fizzled. It wasn't a complete breakup. So
you had the Green Ranger, the Red Ranger, and the Blue Ranger. Yeah.
Well, the Powerpuff Girls, but I like to call them, even though there wasn't the pink one. I like to call them Powerpuff Girls. But yeah.
Red, pink, same difference.
And then watching Kira Hogan in ROH doing her thing against Athena, I'm like, but you can't wrestle. It would have been a great match. You could have had her beat Jade for the title, but you didn't.
Give me Mercedes Moné versus Kiera Hogan. That's a match I've wanted to see for a long time.
Dolores, what do you think?
Jade is green and so is money.
Jade Street, just like I said, I want her to have better opponents coming back. Hopefully she'll go for the the main championship. But I don't want her to be saddled with Mark Sterling and the baddies anymore. She's better than that. Like she can do it on her own. And I think that's what she's even complained in interviews about. Like she wants to do more. She's like really working with Danielson and trying to get herself together. But you can't do it if TK ain't showing it. And it's like TK has put her in the box and that's what she sits. And the only thing she really can control is her interests and what she wears and how she looks. And that's it. Which by the way, she's doing great with that. So you should let her be able to do a little bit more. And it's like she's even said after pay-per-views, oh well, I got to do a little bit more in this match. And it's great. I wish I could do more. And then the next week, she doing the same old BS bullshit. And I'm sick and tired of it. For me, like I said in a tweet, she's a great representation of Black women. I ain't getting that whole smacking, let me snatch my earrings off every week. She's smart. She's good looking. I don't understand why that's hard to put in front of everybody. She's getting walking red carpets, getting opportunities. Why not put her? Yeah, I know it's it's this the skin guy, but still, you gave it to somebody who you know was already broken. I love Thunder Rosa, but I knew her back was fucked up. I watch her vlog every week. So you knew she was fucked up and you gave her the belt anyway. Statlander, you know she got 2 busted up knees. You gave her the championship, right? You gonna put her everywhere and you have her on everybody's channel. And she ain't gonna do nothing for nobody. She ain't gonna sell shirts. She ain't gonna walk carpets. Stop wasting your time on people who ain't worth it. TK, stop sliding them slopes. That's what you need to do.
Off that smack. Crack, book sugar, white girl. Okay, but yeah, like it. TK is in charge, right? You need help, and I need you to finally to admit that. I don't like Vince, definitely 78-year-old Vince, but I will give him this. In the thick of the Attitude Era war, he was great at deviating. If someone got hurt, if a storyline didn't work out, he could deviate in a moment. I think that's the thing that everyone needs to learn from Vince. When people get hurt, deviate. Don't get out of your little notebook and do what's best for business right now. Period.
He claimed he got help. He just don't use it. We went from the women had who was that? Madison Rain, and then we had somebody else, and then Kenny was helping, and then Jeff Jarrett was trying to help everything. He ain't do nothing. Now we got Will Washington, and then every time, or Dustin Rhodes tried to help him, Cody tried to help him, at the books, Omega everybody's trying to help him. He just wants to do. He's like, okay, I bought this company. These employees are my toys. I get to play with them. Because in what God's green earth would you think? Bringing Sabu in, and then at the press conference, you go and pretty much say, yeah, I would like to bring in Goldberg. Who in their right mind?
Especially after them starting matches.
Before he got himself in that trouble. Who in their right mind?
Who got themselves in what trouble?
Ric Flair, before the Plane Ride of Hell came out, he wanted Rick there.
That Plane Ride from Hell came out when I was like in high school or so.
No, I'm talking about the latest story is interviewed.
No, like that story has been out for decades.
Yeah, the story has been out.
Of the Ring episode is
the thing is, I get the Dark Side of the Ring episode just came out. However, that woman's story has not changed since the first time it was presented on message boards back in like 08, 09. And
but a lot of people were unaware.
Oh, it's a lot of people lie and say they were unaware. Most everyone was aware because you could not.
It's just one thing to hear about it, and next thing to hear this woman tell her story and be horrified by it.
If all the documentation has been out there for decades, I know because I came across it on Reddit, Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook. there was at least 2 people a week in every single forum posting this information and putting up what this lady had said. And people still fuck with Ric Flair. What happened with Ric Flair is much like what happened with, some folks are gonna hate me for saying it. What happened with Ric Flair was much the same as what happened with Robert Kelly. You have someone who is the golden cash cow that you can milk, and when he's not producing what you need anymore, you get rid of him. It's like Hulk Hogan. You are the commodity until you're no longer the commodity. We don't punish everyone around you. We censor it just on you. The people who help enable your behavior still get a free pass. Look at Vince. I knew as a kid that Vince was not doing something that he should be doing. And we still watch.
Vince is always been able to blame other people and definitely gets away with it.
So I can only speak to when I found out and I saw actual proof of it. And that was in like 08, 09, 20 and 02. I was in like 6th grade and we weren't like able to have media like that. When I was in high school and I took a computer class simply every semester so I could watch wrestling every semester, like every Monday. That's when I found out all the stuff.
Y'all just gonna make me cry.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just gonna make me cry. I'm old as hell.
No, you not.
Why don't we change the subject?
It makes you feel better.
I am, and I guess I'm just a stupid wrestling mark because I've been a fan since way before 2002, and I'll be honest with you, I had heard the term "plane ride from hell," but until I saw the Dark Side of the Ring special, I knew absolutely nothing about it. So I guess I'm just a stupid wrestling mark.
The details were out there. It's just that when you read them, is one thing, and then people made so many jokes about it. If most people don't forget, WWE did an episode with the cartoon about the plane ride for hell, where they made it seem like it was just a big ass joke. It was a party on a plane that did none of the rest of the stuff happen. And so most people don't. To them, even with the proof, it was just like, okay, maybe it was a party. Some people got offended, even though she said these things happen. Maybe they just took it too far in there. But once you hear her and you hear other wrestlers talk about looking back, that was past too far. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, he went too far. And then when he started being like, that's what we did, then he started trying to out other people. It was like, okay, everybody's showing their true colors now. Then other wrestlers have done shoots where they said he whips his out in the bar and there are other kids and he's swinging his shit around. I'm like, hold on now, you doing too much at this point. When you see a child and you proceed to pull your penis out and swing it around, you got a problem.
Anywho, back to Jade.
Yeah,
penises and swinging penises. Next, y'all gonna start violently scissoring again, and I'm not prepared for that.
I still want to see Jade versus Riho. That was one of my dream matches. Like 2 months back when we were talking about dream matches, I wanted Jade versus Riho. We never got it. In fact, I miss Riho. We don't see her.
Riho might leave in a while.
Yeah.
I'll say this.
We could be getting a couple of signings in this year, which should be exciting.
Yeah.
I want Mariah May. Just Mariah May. That's all I want.
But evidently, TK don't care about the women's division, right? He don't care. He don't care enough to put that much effort into it. So give it to Maria Kanellis Bennett. She's right there. Just let her book it, and you can sign off and say I approve, I disapprove, but let her handle it because you really don't care. You don't have the foresight to care that much, and that's okay. But just hands off of it then.
When he hired her, he said she's a great addition. She's gonna turn around the women's division, and she did shit. So that's what I'm saying. He hires people. He claims they got a job to do, but he won't let them do the job. So it's like, at what part? What's the purpose?
Sounds like Vince.
It's like you hired Will Washington. who sat on the podcast and said that they had he had so many ideas for AEW, and then all of a sudden,
That's rough. Romeo says Jade's on her way to collision
Don't
with the
say
rest of
that.
the people. Want to send away.
they'll leave in a minute.
That's
She
brutal.
don't need this. She want this. Hey, Romeo,
Yeah, she don't
don't
need it. She just kind of wants it, which is why I think she'll stay. I think that Tony will keep her just because she doesn't need it and she's improving, and the caliber of people that she brings to the product, as far as like eyes and like discussions.
I think she'll be the AEW Women's Champion within the next year.
Here's hoping. I want that for her.
All
I don't
right.
know how.
We still need to.
The first one.
What?
Good against you.
I said, if not, can we have Trinity be the first one, like the first Black woman to win the belt? Yes, Nyla, but also Nyla is Native American. So.
Yep.
Or bring Mercedes in. All right. We still need to do predictions and clown of the week.
We're not doing Clown of the Week tonight. It's
What is wrong with you people? It is 12:18.
That's why I was saying to try and get it done. And
I say we do predictions in short form, just because I don't have all of the matches.
I got them.
I got
Joe Hendry versus Dirty Dango.
Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry.
Okay, hold on. Yeah.
Let me pull up the spreadsheet then.
Go ahead. Here you go. I gotta see him in the thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Go through it.
Dolores was
No,
prepared.
I make the spreadsheet with drop down so that when we have it, it's all
yeah.
color coded and no one can make anything. That's why.
Is Anika the current champion?
No,
You are?
it is you and I.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You and I.
What pay-per-view is this? Hold up. What?
Impact. Against all odds.
On Friday.
Okay.
It's on Friday with we'll be reviewing it with
Yep, we'll be watching.
While y'all are getting the spreadsheets ready and everything, I want to talk about 3 people. Here are my ideas of the 3 people who could be signed to AEW this year.
Okay, go ahead.
You got Kota Ibushi.
Yep.
Tama Tonga. And possibly Drew McIntyre. And I could see any of these 3 guys being a future world champion.
Wow.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew is a huge stretch. I don't think Drew's going anywhere. Kota Ibushi, yes, I see that.
You don't think so?
I don't think Drew's going anywhere. I'd like to see him go somewhere, but I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's a WWE guy. Kota Ibushi's probably the one most likely to sign. Tama Tonga wouldn't be bad. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. But yeah, Kota Ibushi.
I hope Tama Tonga brings his dad in with him. Give us Haku. Give us Meng. Let him bite somebody. Let him bite Kenny Omega.
All right, you guys ready for your
doing the predictions just for against our odds or for the Fallout one too?
Let's just do all against all odds.
Okay.
All right. So the first match was Joe Hendry versus Dirty Dango. I got Joe Hendry. Sammy has Joe Hendry. CM, who you got?
Joe Henry.
Anika?
Joe Henry.
Dolores?
Joe Hendry.
It's unanimous. Joe Hendry.
Okay.
What's the next match?
I do.
What's the next match? Sammy, you said you had the card.
It's up on the screen.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, Dolores's.
All right. I'm gonna go Trinity and Deanna. Sammy, who you got?
Same.
CM?
Trinity.
Anika?
I gotta watch I gotta catch up on Impact. Yeah, Trinity.
Dolores?
I got Trinity.
Trinity across the board. Eddie Edwards versus Kaz. I'm going Kaz. Sammy, who you got?
I'll go Eddie.
CM?
Eddie.
Nika,
Cass.
Dolores.
Eddie.
All right.
Eddie.
Next
Not
match.
doing.
Dog collar, Masha and Killer Kelly. Who? I'm gonna go Masha. I think she's wins here again.
Same.
CM,
Masha.
Anika,
Marsha.
Marsha, Dolores.
I don't know. Killer Kelly.
Masha. It's Masha across the board. All right. World champion match. Ace
I'll
and
go
Chris
ABC.
Bay ABC versus a good hand. Sammy's going ABC. Yeah, I'll go ABC too. CM.
I'm going ABC.
ABC.
Dolores got ABC. CM got ABC. Anika, you got
ABC. Yeah.
It's ABC across the board. X Division. Ooh, they're running this back. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Chris Sabin, just because Miguel's had the belt for a while and they had such a good match last time. I think Sabin wins here.
Yep, same.
CM,
Trey Miguel.
Anika,
Light Scary Ricochet. Who that?
what?
Trey Miguel? Yeah,
Yeah.
him.
Okay, Trey Miguel, Dolores,
Trey Miguel.
Trey Miguel. All right. 8-4-1. Bully Ray Jonathan.
I'll go Aldous.
The goal is to have one winner at the end, right?
Yeah. Then they have an 8-man tag. Then
Right.
I know.
I know, right?
1 minute.
8-4-1. Yeah.
Yeah. They gotta have an 8-man tag. The winning team faces each other to get down to 1 woman.
So Sammy went with Nick Aldis. I'm going to go with Nick Aldis too, but let me say, I really hope it's Mike Bailey.
Well, I probably because I know one of the Fallout matches, I'm gonna say Nick Aldis.
Anika,
Bully Ray.
ooh. And CM, who you got?
Aldis.
Aldis. All right.
I was about to say, now watch it be Bully Ray.
All right, for the Impact World Championship, Macklin versus Alex Shelley. I'm going to go with Macklin here. I think he retains again.
Same.
Me too. I got Macklin.
Dolores got Macklin. CM.
I say Macklin.
Anika.
Macklin.
All right. Is that the last match of the card?
But I would like to say, how cool would it be if Motor City Machine Guns had both of the singles titles come Saturday, you know?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. I don't think it'll happen, but I think it would be pretty cool. Safet says, I can't wait for Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay 2 and Okada versus Danielson at Forbidden Door 2. Have they confirmed we're getting Okada versus Danielson?
Yeah, they already did the press conference this morning.
All right.
But I don't think nobody did the press conference. They were like, is he going to accept? He already accept at Dominion when his words were, yes, I accept your thing. And then he turned around to the camera and said, I can make it rain anywhere. And I was like, asshole, Okada, I'm ready for you. There we go.
It's going to be a hell of a Forbidden Door.
I wanted a rematch between Zack Sabre Jr. I wanted an actual match between Zack Sabre Jr. and Danielson because that was supposed to be last year. But I'll take this. I'll take this. We can wait for that one later.
I want Zack Sabre Jr. versus Samoa Joe.
And we got Eddie Kingston in the G1.
For the king of the TV titles. Whoever's the king.
That's where it looks like it's headed.
Honestly, I'd be down for Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nick Wayne.
Well. All right. CM, you want to take us out since it's 12:30 on your time? Your end over there.
Find us live on Friday starting at 8 p.m. Eastern for Friday Night Fights. It starts off with WWE Friday Night SmackDown at 8 p.m. Eastern. Goes into AEW Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern. This week we are also adding in
Against All Odds.
Against All Odds for Impact on tomorrow.
No, it's on Friday. Oh yeah, tomorrow. Yes, right. Yes, All for Naught.
All for Naught drops tomorrow. They talk about Raw and NXT. Better booking than Raw and NXT. Also, Under the Radar drops on Saturday, and Seeing Stars
On Saturday as well. Yeah, probably
Saturday as well. That talks about GCW in New Japan and Stardom. So please make sure that you stay locked into all of our socials, which is YouTube, Facebook, Switch, Twitter, and TikTok, in order to find everything that we're doing. So yeah.
Yep.
Until next time, which is going to be live on Friday. Peace.
Bye.